Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good day. I certainly am. Today I'm going to talk about the whole 2025 season because it just came to a close. Would have been this Saturday, the 2nd, November 2nd. And I just want to reflect on what I learned as a first time business owner and things I would do differently for next year. I think probably the biggest thing that I learned doing lawn care for like the first time big, I did it like 1 or 2 yards for the past 2 to 3 years. I had one customer, then I had two, but then this year I really scaled it up and I have about 10 this year. And I'm looking to do the same next year. And that taught me a lot of things with like speed and efficiency because how I mowed 1 yard is a lot different than how I mow 10 yards. Because if I were to do it the way I did it previously, it would take 2 hours. Just way too long. So the first thing that I really had to learn how to do was use one of these very efficiently and very quickly. Um, I got the FS38 in July of 2024. And back then, I didn't really know how to use it that much. It was very new to me. I had not used a gas trimmer at all. So it took me a while to get used to it. And after a few months, I kind of started to get the hang of it. And then in late October of that year, I took the guard off, which is probably the best decision I ever made. And that just sped things up a lot. And at the end of that season, I also started to learn how to flip it over and edge with it. So come to this year, April, when I started, I wasn't so good at edging because I didn't have much experience with it. And I still didn't know how to use this thing like pretty good. But mowing like multiple lawns a day, it forces you to learn pretty quick. So I'd say within about a month, but I had the edge technique down. I could do it quickly. Just walk forward like it. It was nothing once I knew how to do it. And then my speed, just overall trimming, went up crazy. It used to take me 30 minutes on a yard to just trim it up because I was new to it and I didn't know how to use it. And now it takes me like 10 to 15 on that same size yard. So like half the time or less to do that just because I got so much better with it. So that's something that I think if you're a first time business owner too and looking to start out in the lawn care business, anyone can go mow straight lines with the mower. Anyone can go use a leaf blower and blow the grass around. What really takes skill is using a tool like this. And the quicker you can learn how to do that efficiently, the better business owner you'll be and the more yards you'll be able to take care of. All right, what else here? What are some things that I do differently? I think that was the next one. I think if I would do something differently, I would change how I priced my properties that I did. Because starting out, I didn't really know how to price things early on. And now looking back, there's a lot of yards that should have been higher and probably should have been lower. And the reason I just didn't know is because, again, I was new. So the way I price things now is it's on size and difficulty. All right, if it's just a big flat yard, that's going to be more because, again, it's a larger area. But let's say it's that big yard, but then there's a steep hill in the backyard. Well, that's going to be more because that's more difficult and it's going to take longer because mowing up a steep hill ain't fun and it takes time. So that's when the price would increase. So that's kind of how I price things. And I kind of keep a good eye if one of my other yards is this much and this yard is pretty similar to that one, then they should be somewhat similar in price. But back in last year, I did not price things like that, and learning how to price things greatly changed my business. I have many friends that are also in the lawn care business, and they price really low. I mean, they're like $20 a lawn, and I'll mow for you. And when I heard that, I was just in shock, because if you price your lawns at $20, you're not making any money. Because it takes you maybe like 30 minutes to an hour with a push mower to mow a yard, and $20, like, no, that's not enough for your work and the effort you're putting into it. And also, you have equipment to pay for, you have gas to pay for. If you have employees, you also have employees to pay for. $20 is not going to get you any of those. You need to significantly increase your price, and don't be afraid, because people are willing to pay for you if you do a quality job and do a good job on your lawn. So that's the second thing, is learning how to price properly, and growing or increasing the prices substantially. Now, not like unreasonable pricing, but like mark it up 50% from what you had, and they will be fine to pay with that, so long as you do quality work. And most people will be as well, and that will really increase your profit margins and allow you to make more money, and not just making the bare minimum. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is equipment maintenance, because that's also a big part of lawn care. And this year, I put a few hundred hours on the mower. I think, I don't even know. I don't have hour meters. I'm just kind of taking a guess. I think about 50 to 60 on the FS38, and a few on the blower. I don't use the blower that much. And a big part of that comes equipment maintenance. A lot of people will just forget to do all that and neglect their equipment, and they wonder why it breaks a year or two down the road. So coming in a few future videos, I've bought the service kit that goes with the FS38, the BG86, and some air filters for the mower. I'll be changing the oil, replacing the air filters, and in the two-stroke equipment, be changing the fuel filter, spark plug, and an air filter. You saw in the few weeks back, I greased the bearing at the end of the shaft. That's important. If you have a straight shaft trimmer, grease the gear head, that's also important. But learning how to work on equipment, for me, I guess that's the point I'm making here, is it saves you money. Instead of going and taking this into the shop, where it could be several weeks before you get it back, and then you have to pay for not only the parts, but the mechanic's labor, can get pretty expensive. So if you can learn how to work on your own equipment, that would save you a lot of money, because I bet if I were to go take this in to get the same fuel filter, air filter, and spark plug changed, it would cost $50 to $100. And I'm gonna do it for 10, because that's how much the kit costs. And it's gonna take me 10 minutes instead of multiple weeks. And they're not that hard to work on. They're very simple. I get lawnmowers are a bit more because they're 4 strokes, but especially two-stroke equipment, they're super simple. So I hope you found this informative, and I hope that taught you something, and I hope I can help you out with your business if you're just starting one as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.